Thank you for that, Michael. What's y'all opinion on the new hip drop tackle rule? I've seen many athletes come out against it. How are you supposed to sack a quarterback now? I've not looked into that to see exactly what the rule states, but James, go at it.
It's basically, I'm against it, but I'm against all the rule changes. Like when it comes to tackling, and I'm an offensive guy. I think that the game is inherently violent. And the more you make one side have to think and cater, it just makes it more of an offensive game. I don't think it's fair to defensive players. Now, there's a myriad of ways that I would like to get hit. One of them not being hit. But secondly, the key is to get the guy down. And they actually used to teach. It's crazy how we've gotten to this, because it's like the Gator roll, which the Seattle Seahawks kind of made and Pete Carroll kind of made a little popular a few years ago, where you kind of come to the side of a guy and you basically take you get the legs, wrap around it, and then you roll. It's literally the exact same thing, except for you get a little bit closer on the hip drop and you literally just drop your weight and then roll down. And that leaves for like your ankle to get caught up in and some other different stuff. But like, it's kind of like when they take away hitting like a defenseless receiver. Like, I don't like that rule, not because I think you should be able to just decapitate guys. I think it just I think quarterbacks should get penalized for throwing the ball where it shouldn't go. Like, that's really what a lot of these defenseless receivers are getting hit with, is that. It's just the natural course of the game. I think they're taking away, but not necessarily the fun, but they're taking away just you being able to be natural. And I think that that makes the game, maybe because people think points equates to a fun game. And I like scoring, but I think the violence is what really draws people into it. So I don't know I don't know what to tell a defensive player, but I do know this is not going to translate to college or high school anytime soon. I hate the kicking rule more maybe than I hate the hip drop rule.
Yeah, it's tough. They took, in my opinion, I hate the hip drop. I'm glad they did away with it, but it's done away with everything. I feel like they need to roll back 3 or 4 of the other rules above it in order to be able to take away the hip drop. It's like the hip drop is just a symptom of all the other hits they've taken away, to where this is basically all you can do is grab, and it's a nightmare because people have these cleats planted into the ground, and it's basically just the horse collar except for you're grabbing the hips. But like James said, how are you going to hit them? You can't just keep taking every damn thing away. They've got to roll something back, whether it's the defensive receiver or this or that. It was their answer to not fixing concussions. They didn't want to really fix concussions, so they're just trying to take every damn hit that can hurt you out of the game, which sucks. But I hate the hip drop tackle itself, but I get why they're taking it out or want to.
Well, it's not the player's fault that the strike zone that's given to them is now causing you to do a hip drop. That's the reason why it won't be taken out of college, because what are you supposed to ask these kids to do if your hands graze the quarterback's helmet? It's a penalty for hands to the face.
Crazy.
Graze it. If you hit him too high, it's roughing the passer, whether he's got the ball in his hand or not. There's so many rules that are in place that are more harmful. Now you're mad at them because the hip drop's hurting and breaking legs and knees and all that. Well, where do you want them to hit them at? And the next thing we're going to be told is the shoestring tackle is going to be eliminated because it's causing them to sprain ankles or possibly tearing Achilles or whatever. Why aren't we talking about artificial turf tearing all these knees and ankles up? Achilles are getting tore, ACLs, MCLs, all these things that are happening because the kids, they can plant their feet so well. But there's no give to what their feet are going into. We don't want to change that. Why? Because it costs money. It's cheaper to have those turf fields for X amount of time. You don't have to. There's no upkeep. You don't have to do all these crazy things. It's been going this way for a long time. It's about how much money the ones with the money can save. So we'll just keep telling these guys smaller and smaller strike zones until we have to get the 2-hand touch. And then once it gets to that point, we got to start talking about all these rules again. but we still won't change what turf or what platforms that they actually play on. So the NFL can be the NFL. Y'all do what you want to. Leave college out of it.
So we are basically out of time, but James, I want you to have the floor for anything with Den Media Group.
Now, basically, just right now, 520 subs away from 6,000. Trying to get to 6,000. We do our cash giveaway on Big Games BS. Big Games BS, 9:30-ish, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll actually be on Saturday this week. We'll have a Dope Talk CJ show. We'll have a Dope Boys with Forrest Connolly, former offensive lineman. We'll be doing that Friday morning. So it'll be a live conversation between two former Warriors, and we'll ask whatever questions and different things. So that one should be fun with Big Foe. But as I keep trying to tell people, the minute I get to if I get to 10,000 subs before football season, I'm giving away a pair of season tickets to FSU with a parking pass. So, everybody's complaining about how much these tickets are. Well, there's two that's going to be really, really good seating. And I encourage everybody to come check it out. Can't wait for y'all to enjoy that and see the stadium, even though with the construction. But outside of that, tailgate April 20th for the spring game. I'll be, like I said, and I said before on your show, I think Trey will be watching practice tomorrow, watching the scrimmage tomorrow. So obviously I'll have my show, but I'll also be on with Chris, where we'll be talking about what went down at practice or whatever. I don't know if it'll be before, probably more likely after, because practice goes from 4 to 6-ish. So about 6:30, by the time you leave, get my boys settled, it'll probably be right in time for me to get on Chris's show, the Sporadics, so we could go talk about Florida State. So again, just join the channel. We like giving away free things, and I appreciate the support.